The DOJ is suing Apple over iPhone monopoly in landmark antitrust case.
Yes. Did you watch this video?
I did not know.
What a guy. It's only 9 minutes of your life, dude. And you love YouTube. What's your problem?
9 minutes, dude.
Huh?
Well, I mean, I didn't even know there was a... I only saw the CNN link. I didn't see this YouTube one on top.
Well, then, I added the CNN one. The one on our messages was the YouTube one.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
In your face.
Ugh.
Anyways, I watched it. It's basically just the guy talking about the case.
Oh, yeah, I did watch this.
You
Never mind.
motherfucker, dude. What the fuck?
Like, I didn't watch this. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No, never mind. I definitely
you
did.
Motherfucker. He just talks about iPhone and the monopoly they have on the smartphone market.
Yeah.
Do I agree? To an extent, I agree. But I also disagree a bit, too.
Yeah, I disagree.
Like, they do have... Some of the things they do are anti-consumer.
Yes.
I agree. Like the inability to do third-party stores.
Yes.
Or the inability to use other pay options.
Mm-hmm.
You have to use Apple Pay on the Apple thing.
Or that whole thing where they're like, oh, it's you're a green bubble.
Oh yeah,
about you.
That is kind of like who fucking cares, really? I don't give a shit. But it is true. The implication because of the bubble color, people. I have seen people talk about, like, I was texting someone and, oh, ew, the bubble, ew, it's the wrong color, ew, they have an Android, ew, what a poor person or whatever, you know. I think it's more a problem with their forced, like with your iPad.
Yeah. We were just talking about the iPad that I have over here, which is it's a 4th generation.
Works
perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Can't do anything on it.
Yeah.
Because they don't support it anymore.
Stop supporting it. So it's like if they still like let you use the old apps or whatever. Now, is it part of the problem because YouTube is also not supporting it? Like, for example, YouTube. You said you can't use.
I can't use YouTube on this thing.
But is that only on Apple, or is that also because YouTube was like, well, we've changed the way our website works?
It could be because they've changed the way the website works, but I can't get the app. Like the app, you just can't use it. You can't download it.
So you can't download the last version that worked on the iPad. Yeah, that's kind of baloney.
Yeah.
So they also talk about how because of some of the things they've said, like Apple, they use their market share to, sort of wrangle people into using iPhones only, where it'll be like, if we make an iPhone and you buy the iPhone because you're locked in, then your kid, you'll get them an iPhone, and you'll get your grandma an iPhone because, they're all working, together or whatever, brand loyalty or whatever. And it's kind of like, well, yeah, okay, they did a good job with their brand loyalty. Like, I don't know. It does, like, why don't they do this iPhone? Like, why aren't they going up against, I don't know, pharmaceutical companies?
Right?
Like, what's the deal? The difference with that is there's 20,000 lobbyists working for pharmaceutical companies because there's 20,000 pharmaceutical companies, where there's probably 5 iPhone lobbyists because there's one Apple,
Yeah.
Because there's bigger problems in America than the iPhone. I think. I'm not sure, but I'm not American. I don't know.
Yeah.
But as an outsider looking in, it's kind of like iPhone seems like kind of low on the, priorities list to me.
Here's what I do.
Yeah.
I buy an Android device.
Yes. The whole reason I didn't get an iPhone was because I didn't want to be locked into the whole Apple
ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I did have iPods.
Yeah.
Because that was like the easiest way to do music after I left like the fucking CD era.
Yes. I mean, it was iPods were stable. They were large format. You could get all your music on there and they would just play music.
I shouldn't even say that I went to iPod first. I didn't.
No, you went to Zune.
No, I didn't. I wanted to go to Zune, but Zune was just as bad as the iPhone. No, the first thing I had first thing I played MP3s on was my PSP. So imagine carrying the PSP in your pocket, right?
Yeah.
No, actually, that's a lie. I had a CD player that would play MP3s. So I carried a CD player in my pocket with a burnt disc of MP3s.
Yeah.
Then I moved to the PSP, which was just as big. after
Except you
that,
can play games on it.
well, that's true. But after that, I had a Creative M Vision,
Yes.
which was I loved it, but it stopped working after like a year.
Oh.
So I was like, well, like that sucks. So then I was like, okay, fuck it. I'll get an iPod.
Mhm.
I know they're last, right? And I had an iPod Classic, like 160 gig, like the most desired one, and I fucking lost it
on a spinning disc.
Yeah,
too.
And I lost it. I wish I had it because those things are worth like money.
Yeah,
they're worth money.
They're collector's item now.
Yeah. Actually, the first one I had was an iPod Touch.
Yeah.
And then I went to the Classic, and I also had a Nano, whatever the small one with the screen was.
Yeah, I think it's just a Nano with a screen.
Because there was the one that didn't have a screen on it too.
Yeah. Oh, that one. Yeah. I can't remember.
That was the iPod Shuffle.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah. So I had the Nano. Anyways, I really liked them, but when it was time to get a phone, a smartphone, everyone I knew had an iPhone or a BlackBerry.
Yeah.
I didn't want a BlackBerry because I didn't give a fuck about. It just drove me crazy. Would be like, I'm on my Crackberry, and it's like, what are you doing on your phone that's so addictive?
Right?
Just texting people? Like, what are you doing on a BlackBerry? And then iPhone came out. It was cool, but by the time I was like, I'm gonna get a smartphone, I just didn't want to deal with Apple and iTunes and all that bullshit. So I was like, I'll just get a smartphone.
Yeah.
I think my first smartphone was a Galaxy 3 or 2. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fine. It did everything I wanted to do.
Yeah.
I'm sure if I had looked at it now, I'd be like, oh my God, that was my first smartphone? It's so slow. But
do I have mine in this drawer?
Uh-oh.
Maybe? Because I had a BlackBerry as well.
Oh.
I had I don't think it's in here, but it was a full screen BlackBerry, no keyboard, but it had a clicky screen, so you would click the screen.
Oh yeah, interesting.
I do have my second smartphone in here.
Oh really?
Which is an HTC One.
Oh wow!
Some of the best audio you could ever get in a phone.
Nice.
Out of this bad boy.
Nice.
That was such a nice phone too. It had dual stereo front firing speakers, dedicated.
Oh yeah.
It's a good little phone. It played all the music and it was great. That's what I used because it had the best sound you could possibly get in a smartphone.
Oh crazy. My first phone was just a shitty Virgin Mobile flip phone.
But that was my first
phone. And then I moved on to the LG Slide or something like that, which was just a phone that you could slide a keyboard out of. Because like for younger people like that have only ever had smartphones, you wouldn't know what the fuck. But back in the day, it was crazy when sort of like the nicer cell phones were with keyboards and stuff come out because you'd just be texting like crazy. That's all you could do, text really.
Yep.
But do you remember where it would be like you'd be setting ringtones for different people and stuff like that?
Yep.
And like, oh yeah, when you phone me, it's going to play this song. Like now it'd be like, why are you phoning me?
Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Calling me on your cell phone.
Like I remember talking on the phone, but nowadays, like, no, never, ever.
Yeah. It's like, just text me.
Yeah. If someone calls me, I'm like, who died?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Only call in emergencies.
Yeah. I remember when my sister-in-law phoned me. I was walking home from work and my phone's ringing. I'm like, she's calling me. So she's like, how's it going? Whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, pretty good. We talked for a bit. She's like, do you know why I'm calling you? And I'm like, well, you must be pregnant. How did you know? And I was like, well, the only way you're going to phone me is if you're pregnant or my brother died.
Yeah.
So it's got to be one of the two. And you're way too happy for him to be dead.
Yeah.
So that's got to be the reason, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So anyways, iPhone. Yeah. I mean, the EU already, like, this is the EU leading the US now because they already made the iPhone change in the EU because now they have to use USB-C. They have to open up the market to third-party apps, all this other stuff that's so consumer-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
Department of Justice is just like, well, why didn't they do it over here for us too? They don't got to.
They don't got to.
I mean, think of the other thing that's changed too. Like when you would get a phone, it was locked to the carrier.
Yep.
You couldn't do anything with it.
That was always wild.
Oh, yeah. And then they finally were like, that's a pretty bullshit play you guys are doing. Like, no, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to have to make a law against that. And that wasn't really the smartphone makers.
No.
Well, it was because they put the ability to do that in the phone.
Yeah.
But that was on the carriers, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see anyways. Sucks for Apple's or iPhone, Apple stockholders, because that can't be good for the bottom line.
No.
But like, is Samsung doing so badly that they really need to help them out? Like, is there another American company that's making cell phones? This only hurts an American company more than anything.
Yeah, because they are.
Well, they're made in like whatever, but everything's
they're an
done
American
in America.
company. Yeah,
but like Samsung's Korean, and like what's the other one?
Oh, well, Google.
Oh yeah,
Google
but
would be
they don't. Don't they just use HTC stuff?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not now. They used to just be HTC, but now they have their own manufacturer.
Wow, I never even thought of Google. But they're so open too. I mean,
oh yeah, they're the most open,
except for allowing third-party stores on their store. But you can just install a third-party store on your thing. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
So,
and the Google, because I run Pixel.
Yeah,
it's the least bloatware phone.
Yeah, that's kind of where I think I'm going to go next time I get a phone. Is just get like a Google whatever, because the Samsung has all their bullshitty Samsung fucking Bixby and all this shit that you don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
You can't get rid of it. And it's like, oh my gosh.
And you're paying between 500 and 1,000 more for that phone.
Yeah.
For that flagship phone, whereas this is, it's cheap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this phone I'm using a Samsung A7, which is like an older, it's like a Galaxy that.
Yeah, and
they've downgraded it a little bit, but
the
it's
A's are the ultra base model, where the S's are like the premium model.
Yeah, but it's not a Galaxy; it's a Samsung A7 or whatever. Yeah. But it's like they took the Samsung and just put like a slower chip in it or whatever. Yeah. But I only paid like whatever. I bought this at the store, so it was like $150 or something. Yeah, like that. It was ridiculous. So I haven't really bought a new phone in a long time, but. This one's kind of annoying me, so I might be upgrading to an iPhone. Just kidding.
You got to get that Google Pixel 8.
Yeah.
I think they're on 8 now.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I've never had a Google one, so I've only ever had all my smartphones have been Samsung, so I've never left the Samsung.
Oh yeah, Pixel 8s are out.
But the thing is, I don't want to spend like $800 on a phone. That just sort of rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, but if you're not going to get a flagship phone, then yeah.
Yeah.
I think they got non-flagship.
I just don't use my phone for anything besides like texting, looking at TikTok, and like listening to like podcasts. I don't really need anything too crazy. I also find phones now are too big. Like if I put
they're getting quite large
in my back pocket, it sticks out of the top of my pocket. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah, see, the Google Pixel 8, it's only $1,000.
Yeah, but see, like only $1,000.
I know, yeah, ridiculous.
It's only $1,000.
It's ridiculous when you think about it like
that.
For
a phone, okay, but like again, just thinking back to when I was growing up, like, imagine you had to get a new house phone for $1,000 every other year or every year.
$25.
It's just crazy to think the way the culture has changed on spending.
Yeah,
like that.
Well, I mean, your home phone, what does it do? Just calls.
Yeah, I know, but like, could you think of anything anyone did when they were growing up where it was like, oh yeah, I have to get $1,000 item every other year, a new one?
No, not in the 80s, that's for sure.
80s or 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah.
Just the smartphone market where everyone was like, yeah, okay, I have to get a new phone every other year.
You don't have to.
Yeah, but you kind of do.
You do?
Yeah.
You don't have to, but you do.
I mean, I don't. I've had 4 smartphones since smartphones were a thing, I think. Yeah. So that's over the course of what? Like, when did the iPhone come out? 2008?
Yeah.
Something like that. So, anyways.
Yeah, I guess I've been in the Pixel family since Pixel 2.
Yeah.
So I got a Pixel 2 XL from our good friend Nine Arsons.
Yes.
He was like, let's put this on your plan. This is my old phone. And I was like, oh man, I like this.
Yeah.
And so I still have that phone upstairs. That's what I watch when I'm in the bath.
Oh, yeah.
Because this case is slippy and that case isn't. So I can prop it up, watch a YouTube video in the bath and relax.
Nice.
And it still runs fine, kind of.
Yeah.
The battery is garbage. I watch a half an hour YouTube video and it's just dead.
Wow. And the work phone's an iPhone?
And the work phone's an iPhone.
That's the other thing with iPhone, is it's sort of like everyone seems like that if work is not a BlackBerry, it was an iPhone.
Yeah.
It's always, here's your iPhone, here's your iPhone, here's your iPhone.
I got a choice the last time to get an Android or an iPhone, and I was like, no, just do iPhone because then it's separate.
Oh yeah.
I can't link any of my Google stuff to it.
Yeah.
So
well, you could if you installed it.
I could, yeah, but I'm like, no, keep it separate. I don't want to see that phone on the weekends.
Yeah, fair enough. Exactly. Anyways, it was an interesting video.
Yes.
We'll see exactly what happens. I mean, there'll be that testifying in front of Congress that Steve Apple will have to do. What's his name?
Steve.
No.
Tim Cook.
Tim Apple.
Tim Cook.
He'll have to answer all these stupid fucking Congress questions.
Yep.
Actually, didn't he do that already once?
I don't know.
Someone did, where they had to talk in front of Congress and they were asking him questions about like iMessage, and yeah, it must have been someone from Google maybe. And they were asking him questions about iMessage and stuff like that. And he's like, I don't know about iMessages. That's Apple. I work for Google. It's a different company. So the congressmen are so fucking stupid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Pretty good.